What's up, guys? Today, I want to talk to you about something that I've probably talked about a long time ago, but it's so crucial to your business that I thought, I probably should share this again. Now, what I'm going to share has the potential to completely transform your business, but most people don't take it seriously. So I'm going to share a few things that you can do to not only to implement it, but to ensure that it sticks. Because it's not just about what you know, it's not just about what you implement, it's what you implement and it sticks. That way it means 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you're still doing it and you're still gaining all the benefits that it has for your business, for your growth in your company. Now, this is something that I learned many, many years ago, debriefing. So if you have not been debriefing or you're not familiar with debriefing, let me tell you that this has the potential to exponentially transform your business. And here's why. When you debrief after every service call, after every installation, what happens is it helps to ensure that all of the things, all the protocols, all of the steps that you have for your installation process or for your service call process are being followed. To go a step even above and beyond that would be the micromanagement of these calls, which is what's happening in our industry. And I'm not against it, until everybody on your team gets to the point where they can run the entire play without being coached and managed, then that's a great place to be. But most places aren't finding that that's viable because people forget things, or they get in a hurry or a rush and they try to skip a bunch of the steps that are necessary to provide that exceptional customer service. So the micromanagement, the call-by-call management, I think it's going to be the only way that you're going to run an effective company, because you're competing against other companies quite possibly in your area. Most of you have companies that are succeeding at a rapid pace who have implemented call-by-call management. So I think that that's necessary to get the results consistently with your team. And it's unfortunate because I know that just from all the studying that I've done and what I've found running my business as well, is that people love to have autonomy. It's something that creates a positive work environment. It's something that creates people who are happy to come to work every day. Is having the freedom to do their jobs. So we do give them the freedom when it comes to call-by-call management after we have done all of the steps leading up to the actual work. So once we do the actual work, that's where you have autonomy. Where in the past you had autonomy over the entire call. I mean, for me, when I got started, once I had graduated through the ranks to where I could go run service calls on my own, I was just handed a pile of calls every morning. And typically they were sectioned into a region so that I would somewhat stay in some region. But there was also days where I ran all over the country, felt like. I was zigzagging back and forth across town to different counties and different cities. But the management of this call-by-call management and taking away people's autonomy, some people really don't like it. The long-time techs are going to hate this. And if you've been a long-time tech who took years before you before you opened your own company, you may be against this because you know that you wouldn't like that to happen with you. But if you're not getting the results from each and every call, if you're not maximizing the potential that's in every single call, because like I shared in one of my past videos, that's where this industry has gone. So if you're going to try to ignore that and not make sure that you're doing it too, you're not going to survive, because the cost of doing business has probably tripled from what it used to be even just 15 years ago. When you add up all the expenses that it takes to run a profitable, well-run, organized company, when it comes to all the other expenses that it takes to do that now, to compete in the digital age. 15 years ago, it was still newspapers, or 20 years ago, it was still newspapers were still a viable source. Also, places like joining your local chamber of commerce was viable. We got a lot of business from that. But eventually, as everything turned digital, that just wasn't as effective anymore. So in this day and age, I feel like the call-by-call management is absolutely essential. Now, if you're not ready to do call-by-call management, or you don't have somebody who can sit there and watch the invoices as they come in and manage the process to make sure it's being followed each and every call, the least you can do is have your CSR or your dispatcher do a debriefing. Meaning, after the technician finishes the call, they have a checklist that the CSR, office manager, whoever can help with this activity, this task, asks a series of questions to the technician to ensure that the steps have been followed. It's not a 100% fix-all, but it helps remind your technicians what is being asked of them, what's their roles and the responsibilities of their jobs also entail, which are above and beyond just fixing the equipment and diagnosing equipment and replacing equipment. So once we do the debriefing, then we not only help them remain stocked, it helps to remind them to remain, to keep things on their truck stocked, to also perform certain things that we need to happen on every single call. So that way, when they get to the next call, they actually will do what's on the list. Now, some people, if they choose not to do those things, that's when management has to be notified so that you can have a conversation with them to correct this behavior. Otherwise, they're probably not going to be able to stay on our team. So, or we may have to change positions for them. Sometimes guys are really good technicians, but they're not good with all the extra stuff that it really is required to do this job at this point, where the industry has gone. That may allow you to put somebody like that in a position where they just fix things. And that's all they do, because they're really, really good at fixing things. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to kick somebody off the team just because they don't follow this process, but it does mean that you need to find a position where they can thrive to the best of your ability. Otherwise, you can't have somebody out there in the field who has a checklist to go off of, who knows what they're supposed to do so that we can increase our potential in every single call to help grow the company. Because a rising tide raises all ships. It's not just good for you as the business owner when the company grows. It's good for everybody, because everybody gets more and everybody wants more. So you have to help the whole team understand why we're doing this, why we are adding debriefing. It's because we want to make sure that these things are being done each and every call, because it expands our reach, expands our potential. It's going to help us with more referrals. It's going to get us more reviews. It's going to help us spread the word by using like door knockers, on every single call, making sure to put some other door knockers out there. So it helps with the marketing budget. It helps with all kinds of things. It ensures that we're following the right procedures when it comes to collecting money on every call. It helps to make sure that the office is well aware of any future communication that needs to happen between the company and the customer. If the technician said something to the customer and said, hey, yeah, I'll get you some information on that. Well, if they debrief after the call, they can share that information with the CSR or dispatcher or office manager. That way they can put it on their schedule to make sure to send that information out. So it just creates there's a wide variety of ways that it creates a better customer experience. So if you're not doing debriefing, or if you've never learned what debriefing is and you'd like to learn a lot more about it, well then, we have this HVAC Millionaire University where we teach all of these strategies and these processes and systems to help you continue to grow your business and to continue to grow it profitably. And we have people that have come in that are just starting out, who have skyrocketed their business from, almost no money basically coming in to 600,000 by, in less than 8 months. And we have other people who have been in business for a while doing $400,000 or $500,000 and then immediately skyrocket to 1.2 or 1.5 million. And then we have people who were already at 1.5 million, but had no profit. And once they implemented strategies like this, once they learned the intricate details of this strategy, plus a dozen other highly important strategies that are fundamental to building a foundation that allows your business to scale and grow, once they implement those things, they've gone from 1.5 million no profit to 3.2 million with 20-25% net, 75% gross profit. So it's completely possible. We have people who are going from 3 million that are shooting for 5 million this year. And I have no doubt that they'll get there just because they're actually implementing the strategies. It's one thing to know some of this stuff that you learn from videos like this. It's an entirely different thing, entirely different animal to actually implement it and then manage it. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we don't want to just implement stuff and then 3 months later, nobody even knows what that thing was because you've already implemented 3 other things that aren't working. So it's about getting things implemented and then having them stick in your company where it becomes just the part of the way you operate. So everybody knows this is how we do it. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll take this seriously and begin the debriefing process. Like I said, you want to learn the intricate details of this. Check out, I'll put a link in the description to check out HVAC Millionaire University. You can watch a couple of little short videos so you can learn more about what it is. But we'd love to have you on our coaching calls every week just to help get you where you want to go a lot faster. That's it for now. Go make money. Boom.